So in this video I'm going to track the pose of a Carteret pen held by hand or just lying around, and I'm going to use a hand tracking system to support DOPE, which is Deep Object Pose Estimation, for tracking pose of objects. So first I'm going to show you the hand tracking based on YOLO 2 that I trained. So this is the hand tracking. So if you see that existing algorithms online, they only detect hands when you have like skin colored hands, but if you have gloves on, it often fails. So you can wear any sort of gloves or in any sort of exposure level, set the exposure level of your camera to very low values, but still you will be able to detect your hand quite robustly. So this is what I trained to help DOPE get faster, as well as help DOPE to look into a smaller region of interest, smaller region. So here I have merged this YOLO 2 and DOPE. I am using Intel RealSense D435i camera, and I am using hand tracking set to true, and gamma correction is set to false. This is my current configuration. This is my trained model for Carteret pen, and these are the settings. I have watered it down, the threshold levels. I allowed more outliers, but because I was not getting good detection. So right now you will see a lot of our first level tested on a simple background like this. So what happens is that whenever it detects a hand, it draws a green box around it to mark that here is the hand I have detected, and it basically crops out that green rectangle image, green square image, and DOPE processes only that image in its network. And you can see the FPS jump on the left side in here. Currently the DOPE is processing the entire image, and the frame rate is around 7.5 frames per second. It's detecting the pen in here, but when it detects a hand, you will see the FPS doubles immediately, because the image size is smaller. So basically the speed doubles, and also you will see the outliers are gone on the right side, and it cannot detect the pen because it's not in my hand anymore. Now I'm going to take the pen in my hand. See still a lot of outliers. But the problem happens when the background is very complex. Oh, the second hand was being detected, that's why it was causing problem. You can see behind me it's guessing there is a pen there. Okay, but if your network is well trained, this problem doesn't happen. For example, instead of tracking Carteret, if I detect a standard YCB object, for example this meat can, look what happens. Frames per second is currently 16. So that's with the help of hand tracking. Now if I decrease the size of the cropping, let's say I set it to 170 by 170, did not modify the code, when it detects two hands, just testing things out. So it's running around at 20 frames per second. So anyway, tracking hands helps eliminate outliers and also helps getting the network operate faster. So now what I'm going to do is that instead of working with standard lighting condition, I'm going to create an extreme lighting condition. I'm going to turn off very bright lights and turn off my room light. So now I'm going to set up my system in here. You're going to see what happens. So currently the exposure level is set to 25. My room light is still on. I'm going to turn off my room light. So I've turned off my room light. Now I'm going to turn on some very bright LED lights. Basically LED torches. Now if you see in here, you cannot detect my hand very properly. Just adjust the camera a little bit. Alright, you cannot detect my hand outside the region of interest. So that's why I added this gamma correction. So here if you set to true gamma correction, now you can detect my hand pretty easily. And also you're working with 170 by 170 cropping size, so frame rate is pretty high. But the problem is that Adobe cannot detect anything. Sorry, I still have the meat. Can set up. It can't even detect the meat can, which is much easier object to detect, and then weights are much well trained to detect this meat can, but it can't detect it. So that's a problem. There is really no chance of detecting the cutlery pen in this situation. It can't even detect this thing. It can detect it if the exposure level is good, if the lighting condition is good. So that's the problem. Hand tracking is working, dope is also working, but it's just not good enough to track objects in very low lighting condition, and by default it's not well trained to track this cutlery pen. That's a problem. Thank you.